Hello everyone, it's Anna here. I'm guest designing again for Gerda Steiner Designs, and I got this absolutely adorable stamp set called Go Wild, and I just love these images. These are so flippin' cute, and I got the matching die set as well. Fantastic. And I absolutely adore this little giraffe. His face is just, I don't know, I just love it. So surprised and cute as can be. So I picked a few images from the set I'll be using. First of all, I knew I was going to be using the Jeep and that giraffe, and then I decided to use the bird and the safari dude. So I had an image in my head how I wanted it to look, for them to be in the car all surprised and having fun. These are new stamps. I hadn't stamped these at all before, so I stamped these 3 times just to make sure everything was good and proper, and that all the images were really crisp and clear. Then I just took up my Copic markers and started colouring away. And this is basically, well, basic, simple colouring really. So I won't be commenting much about my colouring. I'll just put the info about each and every colour compo at the bottom of the video and play a little music while I'm colouring. So see you in a little bit. Now that all my colouring is done, I'm just putting my images and the die cut on top so I can die cut these neat and fine. So these die cuts make my life so much easier, especially regarding the Jeep. I really like that die, especially for that. And now I decided to use the pattern paper from Lawn Fawn, because they kind of match the colors that I had chosen for the Jeep mainly. So since this is going to be a rather simple design of a card, I am gonna use loads and loads of foam tape to get this image to stand out really and be the true center of attention that it should be. So I'm just cutting down my 3M foam tape so that it will be the best size possible, and of course that it won't be showing anywhere. This Jeep is absolutely adorable. I just love this. So much fun to use. So basically all of them are getting their share of foam tape behind them, because I really want them to pop when it comes to the card centerpiece really. I'm just trying to figure out which papers to use, and I really like this softer one. And originally I cut this down to 4 inches to 5 1/4, sorry. But then I just realized I really want to use that silver cardstock, so I decided to cut the pattern paper down to, or cut it down 1/4 inch as well. So that ends up, so that glitter paper ends up being 1/4 inch smaller than my card base. And the card base is an A2 standard size card, which is 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. And since this glitter paper is quite coarse, I need a lot of adhesive. So I am not being stingy about it, because I don't want it to move at all. And then in order to give this image even more dimension, I am adding loads of foam adhesive at the back of this patterned paper, because I really don't want it to flatten out too much. So I don't think I'm in danger of flattening out this card really, considering how much foam seems to be on this card. I'm just centering it as best as I can, and my head popping in to say hi. And now I just need to figure out where I want these images to be placed. So in order to make sure that it stays where it should be before I glue all of these down, I'm using a bit of tape to stick these characters inside the car to the car, so they don't move when I put the whole card together. And the bird will be outside the car, so I don't need to have that stuck anywhere there. And then of course I'm adding more foam tape, because well, I'm crazy when it comes to this stuff, so why not get even crazier, eh? And this also makes sure that everything is stuck together really, so nobody should be falling out of this car in this card. So now that all the foams, or the backing is all off, I'm just placing it near the bottom, keeping it straight-ish, sticking it down, And then I'm adding the bird. And as soon as I stuck the bird down, I knew, well, I have sparkly paper in the background, so I'm adding a bit of sparkliness to them too, because I cannot help myself. So I'm adding a bit of sparkle with my Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen to some of the grey areas of the car, the binoculars and the bird's beak. Now that it's all done, I just have the sentiment to do. And at this point, I realized my mistake. I should not have put all that foam tape on my card and then have the sentiment to do. But I decided to see if my MISTI tool could help me with my dilemma. So I'm just making sure that it's straight, and I'm using the same ink as I used on the image, just to keep this in the same blackness really. So as soon as I stamped the image, I realized how silly this was. Of course the image has trouble stamping throughout because I have foam tape underneath and I have foam tape on the image, so that the balance is a bit off. But thanks to my MISTI, I was able to stamp again and again and again and again, and finally it all came together. There's a tiny bit left and I'm hoping, please, and then it's all there. Phew, made it. So that's my card for today. This adorable stamp set.